Get a nice rest? Well, I'm sorry, before the rest I should ask, did you get nice prasad? Huh? Okay. And how the Spanish Riviera treating you, Costa del Sol? Huh? Treating you nice? Okay. Anyway, we are happy wherever we are with Krishna. Krishna is the sun. The real sun is Krishna. Krishna Surya Sama. Krishna is, Surya means, and Sama means like. Krishna is like the sun. And Maya hoy Andhakar. Maya is darkness. Jaha Krishna taha nahi Mayar adhikar. Meaning, wherever there is Krishna, there is no room for Maya to come. Can darkness be there when the sun is up? The darkness is automatically removed. Similarly, when Krishna appears, Maya automatically disappears. So this material world is a world of Maya, and it is in darkness. In either way it's in darkness. Don't we see? This world is in darkness. Natad bhashayate surya na shashanko na pavaka. In this world, there is a need for sun, the moon, and fire to dispel darkness. Otherwise, would there be any light in this world? If sun was not there, can you imagine if the sun was not there, what would have happened? It's actually sun is providing all the light. Moon is actually reflecting sun's light. Fire is also coming from sun. The latent energy of sun in different object comes out in the form of fire. Wood burns. Wood gives out fire. Do you know where the wood got the fire from? What does the wood do? The tree, where does the wood come from? Wood comes from the tree. And what the tree do? What the trees do? Trees take the energy from the sun, through photosynthesis. Photo means light. Taking the energy from the sun through chlorophyll. The leaves are green. What is the green of the leaves? The chlorophyll. And this chlorophyll is converting the sun's energy into, storing it into the tree. And then at one point, the tree is now, they stored it in the wood, and that energy comes out under certain condition. So where did the fire come from? Also from sun. Petroleum, whatever, all the inflammable objects, they are actually sun's energy stored in certain form. Anyway, the point is, in this world there is light because of the sun. Had the sun not been there, there wouldn't have been any light. Can you imagine this world without the sun? In the middle of the summer in Spain, you may say, oh, it's so hot. But can you imagine if the sun was not there, what would have happened? This world would have been in total darkness. So that is one kind of darkness. There is another kind of darkness, the real darkness. What is that darkness? That darkness is the darkness of ignorance. That's even worse darkness. And what removes that darkness of ignorance? Light of knowledge. And what is the real knowledge? The real knowledge is Krishna consciousness. The real knowledge is actually Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Why not shift the table a little bit? It's all right. Thank you. It's okay. So, now just as the sun removes the darkness of this material nature, what removes the darkness of ignorance? Krishna consciousness. And what is real ignorance? The real ignorance is the ignorance caused by Maya, the illusory energy of the Lord. The illusory energy of the Lord. So the illusory energy is what is causing ignorance. Ignorance about what? Ignorance about Krishna. And what is this ignorance about Krishna doing? Is making us think that we are going to enjoy in this material nature. So that is what everyone is stuck in this material nature with. They are stuck in ignorance caused by the illusory energy of the Lord. Can everybody hear me? At the end row, Saraswati, can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Very good. Even behind is? Yeah. Even behind you is Mandira. Mandira, can you hear me? Okay. Oh, are you sitting in the same level? Okay. Hare Krishna. So that is the real knowledge. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada came to give us Krishna consciousness, real knowledge. Not that little knowledge like lamps remove some darkness. Lamp also removes some darkness. The material knowledge, the knowledge of this material nature is like a lamp. For how long the lamp for how long can the lamp dispel the darkness and give some light? And how much light it can give? In a dark room, a small little lamp, how much knowledge can it give? How much light can it give? Only up to some portion, and then beyond that is darkness. Material knowledge is like lamp, and not even lamp. Material knowledge is like the light of a firefly. How many of you have seen a firefly? Okay. So can the firefly remove darkness? What does it do? Lights and goes off, on and off, on and off. Does it increase the light or intensify darkness? Firefly actually intensifies darkness, makes it even more dark by giving that little light. Therefore, the intelligent thing is to become Krishna conscious. Now, when the sun comes up, what happens? Is there any room for darkness? No. Similarly, when you become Krishna conscious, there is no room for ignorance. There is no room for Maya. Is it happening? By being Krishna conscious, are you becoming free from Maya? Sure? Very good. By being Krishna conscious, we become free from Maya. By being Krishna conscious, we become situated in real knowledge. And we get to see what is what Maya is. By getting to understand who Krishna is, we get to know what Maya is. And how to become Krishna conscious? By knowing who Krishna is. And how do we know Krishna? By seeing Him. By seeing, we can know a person, but even better than seeing is knowing the ability and activities and achievements of a person. Say, for example, now if Bill Gates walks in, he's one of the richest persons in the world. If Bill Gates walks in, you will see Bill Gates, but will you know that it is Bill Gates? You may think, oh, it's another Caucasian person walked in. Right? Maybe you won't even recognize him as an American. You say, oh, maybe some Spanish person came in. Right? Although you're seeing him, but do you get to know him? Somebody has to come and tell you, oh, makes an announcement. This is Bill Gates. Then many of you may not even know what is Bill Gates. I know about collapsible gates, iron gates, automatic gates. But this is Bill Gates. What is that? Maybe another kind of gates. But then somebody says, no, he is the owner of Microsoft. Then you may not even know what is Microsoft. You know about microscope. You know about but Microsoft. Then he explains, then he tells that Microsoft means this, the computer that you're using. This is arranged by this Microsoft. And Bill Gates is the person. Then you get to know something. But then somebody tells you, Bill Gates owns $120 billion. Then you wake up, oh, I see. Right? So just seeing the person is not enough to know the person. To know the person, you must know who he is, what he achieved, and what he's worth. In a similar way, in order to know Krishna, we have to know his activities, his power, his potency, what he's capable of doing. Just like somebody says, oh, God is who kept everything on the space. It is by His arrangement all the universes are floating, everything has been created. God said, let there be light, and there was light. You don't really understand what it really means. Universes floating, and you can't really relate to it. And therefore, in order to make us understand, like we don't understand when people say Bill Gates created Microsoft, Microsoft is this and that. Many of us won't really understand what Microsoft is. But when people say Bill Gates is worth $120 billion, then you can relate to it. Oh, I see. Then you hear Bill Gates has given $53 billion in charity. Then you become even more aware of what Bill Gates is. Right? And then you get to know that Bill Gates' wife's name is Linda Gates. And she is the one who is taking care of all this charity. And then you get to know those who work in Bill Gates' company, whatever they give in charity, Bill Gates matches that. So if you're working with Bill Gates in Microsoft, and if you give $100,000 to ISKCON, Bill Gates will give another $100,000 to ISKCON. So this is how you really begin to relate to the person. So similarly, Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Creator, the Supreme Maintainer, and so forth, most of the time don't really make us understand who He actually is. But then Krishna considers, okay, you don't understand me the way I am. Okay, I will make you understand me the way you understand. And that is why Krishna decides to reveal his Braja Leela in this planet. Braja Leela. Braja means Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Vrindavan, Krishna is a cowherd boy. The Supreme Personality of Godhead and cowherd boy. Like if the Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then people cannot really understand him or approach him. Say for example, there is a king. Can you approach the king? It's very difficult. Even if you have access to approach him, when you go near him, what is your mood? You can't even look up. With folded hands, you look down. Before that, you offer dandavat, and don't get up for a long time, because you are so overwhelmed with emotion or respect. But if the king comes to your village, or most of you are from cities, if the king comes to your city and becomes one of you, then will it be difficult to approach him? Say for example, think of your next door neighbor. So, think of your next door neighbor. Can you think of your next door neighbor? Jasoda Priya? Your okay, anyway, it's all right. Yeah. Okay, Ramananda? It's all right, don't worry. Anyway, think of your next door neighbor in your mind. And then one day, you have a very good relationship with your next door neighbor. And one day, the king comes in the house of your next door neighbor as a relative of your next door neighbor. What do you see? That a relative of a next door neighbor has come. You don't know that he's the king. Then how can you deal with him in a very informal way, a very intimate way? You may even invite, why don't you come for prasad at my house? And then you say, let's go for a walk. And so he comes with you. With king you can't deal with him that way, but your next door neighbor's relative, you can deal like that. He comes and he tells you that, look, and then you begin to see the power of that person. You don't know that he's a king, but then what happens? Some dacoits come and attack you when you're walking with him. And then you see that your next door neighbor is a karate expert. And although 12 people attacked you, alone, he just, in no time, they all are 12 people on the ground. Then you're walking with him, all of a sudden a tiger comes and attacks you. And then you see that your next door neighbor's friend, he is fighting with the tiger and he kills the tiger. This is what happens. This is what you can relate. Somebody says, oh, you know, this person kept all the universes floating in the space. You don't really understand. But when he comes and kills 20 dacoits in no time and kills a tiger with one slap and like that, then you begin to see, well, this is something very special person. And then you say, well, boss, I am your servant. You are my master and I am your servant. So this is how Krishna is performing his Braja Leela, Vrindavan Leela. These Leelas are such that we can relate to that. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, Vishnu, and so forth. We like to hear those activities, but that intimacy, closeness doesn't take place. But Krishna is actually allowing his devotees to develop the closeness. Now mind you, in order to develop that closeness, one had to forget that Krishna is God. Remember the example I gave? If you know, then someday you get to know that your next door neighbor's guest is actually the king. Then what happens? The moment you get to know that, then you begin to wonder, oh my God, he's the king. And this is what I have been doing with him. I joked with him. I put my arm around his shoulder. Sometimes I even told him to massage my head. Then you begin to lament, oh my God, what did I do? He's the king. And this is how I treated him. And that's what happened to Arjuna. You remember? When Arjuna realized that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna was lamenting. He was repentant. Oh, what did I do? Krishna, I called you, hey Shakhe, hey Jadava, as if you are my friend. Then we are lying in the same bed and we crack jokes with each other. And I asked you to do so many things. So, Krishna, in order to make us come very close to him, Krishna reveals his Braja Leela, Vrindavan Leela. In Vrindavan Leela, Krishna is not really the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Vrindavan Leela, Krishna is a cowherd boy. And those who are there in Vrindavan, they treated Krishna simply as a cowherd boy. Some treated him as a friend, some treated him as their son, some treated him as their lover. So that is the uniqueness of Krishna's Braja Leela. Now, this Braja Leela has a very special aspect. When we see relationships, loving relationships are how many types? When there is loving exchange, this loving exchange takes place in 4 different ways. One is loving exchange between master and servant. One is between friends. One is between parents and child. And one is between lover and beloved. Is that clear? These are the four types of loving exchanges. Now, this loving relationship like that of a master and servant is there. There is some love. The servant loves the master. Master also loves the servant. And the real servitorship takes place in that way. Just out of his love, the servant serves his master. But even more intimate is the loving relationship between friends. Even more intimate is the loving relationship between the father, mother, and the child. And even more intense is the relationship between a lover and the beloved. So servant-master relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a common factor. Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Master, Param Ishvara. He is the Supreme Master. And everyone else is his servant. In the spiritual world, that is the relationship that everyone has with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when we see that there are relationships, relationship between friends, relationship between mother and child, the relationship between lover and beloved. Now, they are here, but are they there in the spiritual world? The normal region of the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, these relationships are not available. And how can this relationship be there? Because how can these relationships be there with the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Because friendship is among equals. Now how can anyone become equal to God to become his friend? Is it possible to become equal to God? No. Now at least in friendship they're equal, but in parental, the devotee has to become superior and God has to become inferior. How can anybody become superior to God? Is it possible? And in relationship between lover and beloved, how can anyone think that the Lord will become her paramour? So, normally these relationships are not available. But the question is, material nature is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Now, if something is there in the reflection, must it not also be there in the actual? Say, for example, in a tree, in the reflection of a tree, you are seeing some red flowers and yellow fruits. Can it be that in the reflection there is red flower and yellow fruits, but in actual tree there is no red flower and yellow fruits? Can it happen? Or that reflection, whatever is there in the reflection must be there in the actual. Now consider, material nature is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Now in the material nature we see these three relationships. So shouldn't these relationships be there in the spiritual context also? Is that clear to everybody? Okay. So then the question is, then where are these relationships? So in order to search for that relationships, we go beyond Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, these relationships are not there. So what we have to do? We have to go beyond Vaikuntha. And beyond Vaikuntha, there is a region called Golok. And there we find these relationships are available. And we also find that in Golok, Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the son of Nanda Maharaj. In Golok Vrindavan, we find that Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is a cowherd boy. Now, Golok, therefore, is a very special area. In that area, another kind of illusory energy of Krishna works. Another kind of Maya works there. And that is called Jogomaya. This Jogomaya, in a way, makes the residents of Vrindavan forget that Krishna is God. Here also, there are two considerations I will briefly discuss. You see, before going into Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, which is the topic for discussion, I am just trying to give you a proper understanding of what Vrindavan is, so that you can properly appreciate Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. So, Maya is something like forgetfulness. Forget. Now, there are two kinds of forgetfulness. One kind of forgetfulness is out of ignorance. Right? Out of ignorance we forget, that's very common. We always suffer from that kind of forgetfulness. Out of ignorance. But there is another kind of forgetfulness, that is forgetfulness out of intense love. Out of love we forget. An example is that when the son has become the Prime Minister, it's not that the mother doesn't know that the son is a Prime Minister, but does the mother behave with the son like a Prime Minister? Does the mother treat him like a Prime Minister? Why not? Because of her loving relationship with her son. Because of her love for the son, the intimacy that developed because of that person being her son, she doesn't care whether he is Prime Minister or not. Does the mother love the son because he is the Prime Minister? Or does the mother love the son because he is her son? So that is the example of forgetfulness out of love. So in Vrindavan, due to their intense love for Krishna, they don't treat Krishna as God. They don't love Krishna because he is God. They love him because Krishna is Krishna. Because Krishna is their friend. Krishna is their son. Krishna is their lover. So is it clear? Forgetfulness out of love. So in Vrindavan they have forgotten Krishna's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead because of their intense love for him. It's not that they, just as the mother, it's not that the mother doesn't know the son is the Prime Minister. Mother knows. She felt very proud, when the news came out. Narendra Modi became Prime Minister of India. How did his mother feel? Did you watch the TV? The mother was very excited. The old lady village. Really, she doesn't even understand what Prime Minister means. But she saw that everyone is very happy, so she also felt happy. But to her, his main identity is not as the Prime Minister, but as Mera Beta, my little son. So similarly, in Vrindavan, the residents of Vrindavan don't really care about Krishna's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but their mood is, so what? You may be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so what? Even if you are not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we would love you. So here, what is the predominating factor? Krishna's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead or their intense love for him? Just like, what is more important to the mother? His position as the Prime Minister or his position as a son? So this position as a son is the loving factor. And that love, this is the second point that I want to make about the mood of the residents of Vrindavan, is that Maya is also a feeling of he is mine. Mamata. Mama means, Mamo Maya, Durattaya, you know that expression? Mamo means what? Mine. Mamo. And Ta means that the feeling that he is mine. They're feeling out of their love, just as the mother feels, he is my son. So the residents of Vrindavan feel, he is my friend, he is my son, he is my lover. That is the feeling. Not he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chalo arati karenge. No, they don't care for that. Of course, Mother Jashoda sometimes do arati of Krishna, but not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the object of her love. So that is the feeling of the devotees of Vrindavan. And Krishna reciprocates accordingly. There Krishna is not acting as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna deals with them the way they deal with him. So in Vrindavan, the three predominating factors are friendship, parental, and conjugal. And the wonderful aspect of Vrindavan is the beautiful loving exchange. Krishna puts the devotees in difficulties. This is one thing I want to also point out. Don't ever think that now that you have become a devotee, your life is going to be smooth sailing. Don't get into that illusion. Rather, I'll tell you, now that you have become a devotee, your life will become extremely turbulent. Are you ready for that ride? Roller coaster? If you're afraid to get into the roller coaster, then get out of it now only. Why? Why Krishna will put you through difficulties? Because then only the excitement of this relationship will become manifest. Look at the lives of devotees. Look at what happened to the Pandavas. We are dealing with Queen Kunti's prayers. We'll come in that. that what the Pandavas had to go through. Duryodhana was enjoying in his palace with his friends and with his girlfriends and so forth. But the Pandavas are roaming around in the forest. Pandavas are hiding so that nobody can recognize them. Pandavas are disguised as Brahmanas, going begging from door to door. Now, if you are afraid of that kind of life, then don't join ISKCON. So how many of you are ready for that kind of exciting roller coaster? Good, very good. The front row is complacent. They don't even open. They took it for granted that I understood their minds. So, I'll give you an example. Consider Jarabharat. You know the story of Jarabharat? Jarabharat was King Bharat, the ruler of the entire earth planet. He left everything, went to the forest to practice his spiritual life. Becomes attached to a deer, baby deer, and as a result of that, when the time came for him to leave his body, he left his body thinking about the deer, and he got the body of a deer. He was born as a deer. And then in his next life, he is born in a Brahmana family. But he remembered everything. He was a Jatishmar. He remembered everything from his past life. Even as a deer, he remembered everything from his past life. Now this time he is very careful so that he doesn't develop any attachment. And therefore he started to pretend as if he is deaf and dumb, retarded. Have you seen some retarded children? They can't speak, they can't communicate, they can't intelligently think. They're just like individuals with no intelligence. So Jarabhara started to pretend himself to be like that. And then one day when he was pretending like that, people started to take advantage of him. His brothers deprived him of his share in the family. They started to take advantage of him, make him work hard, don't give him food. And Jarabharat, people used to take advantage, he was strong, so they used to make him work hard by giving him some food or no food. And one day when Jarabharat was guarding the field at night, the dacoits came and caught him. The dacoits wanted to sacrifice a human being to Mother Kali, Goddess Kali. So the person that they caught, he ran away somehow. So now they found Jarabharat and they decided to sacrifice him to Kali. Now what was Jarabharat's? Now consider the severeness, the seriousness, the dangerous situation that he is in. Just try to imagine, how will you react? If somebody catches you, ties you, hands and feet, and you know that he is going to sacrifice you to Goddess Kali, how will you feel? Haribol, those who came late, please don't come late again. Because when you missed half the class, then you have missed a lot of it. Those who are participating in this seminar, please don't come late. Please come on time. The class is from 6:30. I came at 6:15. But see, now some of you are coming at 7:05. So what's the point in coming to the class now? Please, so from tomorrow, from next class, please become serious. So now consider the situation. The dacoits have caught you. They are going to sacrifice you to Kali. How you are going to feel? How you are going to feel? I mean, extremely scared, extremely afraid, extremely in anxiety. But then what happens? How is his attitude? Whatever Krishna wants, that is the mood of a devotee. Krishna will put the devotee through all kinds of difficulties, but the devotee's mood is whatever Krishna wants. And I'll tell you why Krishna puts you into that situation. Now consider, Jara Bharat has been now put into that. You know how they sacrifice animals? They put him in a called Jupakashta. It's a U-shaped wooden structure with holes in it. And they put the animal neck on that wooden thing, and then they lock it with a stick that runs through the holes so that his head now won't move. And then they chop him. So Jara Bharat has been put into that. Is Jara Bharat protesting? Why he is not protesting? Whatever Krishna wants. If Krishna wants me to die in this way, I will die, so what? That is the mood of a devotee. That is the meaning of surrender. Whatever Krishna wants. Marobi rakhobi jo ichha tohara. Marobi, if you want to kill me, kill me. But then what happens? Jara Bharat is put into that situation. He's probably waiting, okay, now the chopper will come down and my head will be severed from my body, and that will be the end of me in this life, in this body. That's the mood of a devotee. Does the devotee think that's the end of me? The devotee feels that's the end of this body. That is the meaningful feeling of a devotee. That's the end of this body. So Jara Bharat now has been put into that situation, and his head is now going to be chopped off. He is completely relaxed. Marobi rakhobi jo ichha tohara. But Jara Bharat may have been in that situation, but Goddess Kali couldn't tolerate that situation. So what happened? She came out of that murti. And she picked up the chopper from the dacoit's hand. And she started to chop their heads. Now just consider, had Jara Bharat not been put into that situation, would Kali have come out and did that to him? If devotee is not put into a critical situation, can Krishna come and protect him and show what he does for his devotees? That's why Krishna puts his devotees in the difficult situations, so that everybody can see what Krishna does to his devotee. What a devotee feels, how surrendered a devotee is, and how Krishna always takes care of his devotee. That's why non-devotees will have a happy life in this world. But the devotees will have a troublesome life. And a devotee should be prepared for that. Krishna, whatever you want. Because I know that I have surrendered unto you, and you are going to protect me. You are going to not protect me only, you are going to take care of me. In this way, an example is given. Have you seen how the mother cat carries the kittens, the baby cats? How many of you have seen that? Wow, you all are very big observers. So, how does the mother cat carry the baby cats? How? How many? Who wants to tell me? Huh? Okay, Ananda.
The mouth, the teeth.
Yeah, with the bites into the cat, baby kittens. Where? At the neck, back of the neck. How sharp is the teeth of the cat? It's like saber, like swords. And this part, have you seen a tiger? I'm not saying in real life. Do you know how a tiger kills its prey?
Yes.
Where does the tiger catch? At the back of the neck. Similarly, where does the cat also catch its prey? A mouse. Where does the cat catches the mouse? At the back of the neck, with his teeth. And then he gives a jerk. And the jerk actually makes the spinal cord break. And that's how the prey dies. Now just consider, the cat, mother cat is holding the baby cat at the back of his neck with his sharp, razor sharp teeth. Like if anybody sees that, what he'll think? Oh my God, the mother cat is now going to kill its own baby. But is the baby feel any anxiety? The baby cat, does it feel any anxiety? He feels my mother is carrying me to safety. He knows. This is my mother, and my mother is carrying me to safety. He is not thinking, oh, my mother's teeth are so sharp, and if there is anything wrong, then I'll be dead, I'll be finished. Does he feel that way? No. So that is the feeling of a devotee. Although the dangerous situation, like the kittens situation, the mother is holding with the razor sharp teeth at the very back of his neck, which means death to a rat. When a cat catches the rat at the back of his neck, what does it mean? It's finished, right? Now in the same way, Krishna is, the mother cat is holding the baby cat, but the baby cat is free from anxiety because he knows that he's my mother, and my mother is my well-wisher. My mother is actually taking me to safety. In a similar way, a devotee feels about Krishna. Whatever situation I am in, it is Krishna's divine arrangement to take me back to the spiritual world. And we find that time and time again. Consider Haridas Thakur. Can you imagine Haridas Thakur's situation? Taken to 22 marketplaces and beaten in public. The objective of that beating was to kill him. And they were beating him so mercilessly. But what is Haridas Thakur's situation? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Well, Krishna, if you want me to be beaten up like that, let it be. Let them beat me. Because that's what you want. That is the feeling of a devotee. He always thinks that this is what Krishna wants. Whatever difficulties I am going through, it is Krishna who wants me to go through that. And he must have a reason behind it. He must have a purpose behind it. So, especially in Vrindavan Leela, we see the devotees are facing so many difficulties. So many difficulties. The demons are coming, attacking them. So when you see such a demon coming, generally you tend to forget everything. Like if some terrorists come now with guns in their hands, what will be your thoughts? What will you think? Oh my God, now they start shooting. Isn't it? But how will a devotee think? Oh, Krishna made this arrangement for me to depend upon him. So Krishna, I am ready. Not that Krishna protect me. Krishna, devotee's mood is Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tohara. If the terrorists come and if they want to kill us, Maro bhi rakho bhi. Maro bhi. If you want Krishna, if you want me to die in the hands of the terrorists, fine. What's the harm? So nowadays we face terrorists. Those days they were demons. The demons were coming. But what did Krishna do? Krishna killed the demons one after another. And the devotees, seeing that, their love for Krishna became more intensified. They saw how wonderfully Krishna is killing all these devotees. And their mood is, see, Krishna is the supreme, Krishna is the greatest, Krishna is the best, and Krishna is my friend. Who will not want to have a friend like that? So if a demon comes, like say the terrorists come, and then all of a sudden you see, oh, there is a bluish boy, and although terrorists are shooting with their machine guns, nothing is happening to him. Rather, he is walking up to him, as we often see in the movies, right? Superman or Spider-Man, or anyway, there's so many movies like that. The machine guns, so many people are shooting the machine. Nothing is happening to the hero. He's walking straight. And this hero walks up to them and just starts slapping them left, right. And with his slaps, their heads are moving out of their body. How will you feel when that happens? Won't you feel that time that, yeah, Krishna is real? Krishna is not only in Krishna books, Krishna is in real life. And this is how Krishna will react. He'll put us into difficulties and he will come and protect us, save us from that difficult situation. Won't it be wonderful? And so we will discuss about Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes from tomorrow onwards. If anybody has any question, please feel free to ask. Yes, Radharani? Yeah, good point. Very good point. So this natural tendency to defend is there, will be there. But in Krishna consciousness, we learn to give up that tendency. Krishna consciousness is a process of deprogramming. Right? The things that we develop, the tendencies that we develop, we give up. Give up those tendencies. Okay, so as you're asking how, see, the first consideration is that voluntarily, through knowledge, we do that. We should not defend. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, these are animal propensities, meaning these are materialistic propensities. So these materialistic propensities have to be given up. So either we do it voluntarily, with knowledge. That's one thing. That we should not, therefore, we give it up. But in practical life, sometimes what may happen, that we defend, then it comes to a point when you realize, I can't really defend myself. Then we say, Krishna, surrender. Right? So these are the two ways. Either doing it through knowledge or going through the experience and recognizing that we cannot really protect ourselves in the ultimate sense. Therefore, give up, surrender to Krishna, depend upon Krishna, let Him take care.
You once told me that even if I'm wrongly treated, if I remain humble and tolerant, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will reciprocate in ways that I cannot. So even while you try to practice that in your mind, it's as if there's this voluntary switch that just switches on. But is that coming from the false ego platform?
Yeah, false ego plays, comes in between. But we have to get, false ego means what? Being in material consciousness, being in body consciousness. I am this body. Ultimately, false ego means that. Body consciousness, false identity. Now we have to give it up, although it will interfere, because so many lifetimes of bad habits. So that is how we have to deal with that situation. Yes?
There's another way of looking at it. Like in Mahabharata, Arjuna was asked to fight, and then he offered his results to Krishna. So how do you?
What's that?
In Mahabharata.
Yeah, Arjuna was asked to fight. Then what?
Then he offered his results, whether victory or defeat, to Krishna. So how do you compare that with not to defend at all?
That's why you have to practice the process. Read, associate with devotees, learn from them. Right? That's why you need guidance.
So which approach is the better?
What?
Defending and offering the results or not defending?
That is Krishna consciousness means offering the results to Krishna at the preliminary stage, and at an advanced stage, I will do whatever you want. Offering the result is the platform of karma yoga, and surrendering to Krishna with an attitude, whatever you want, I will do, that is pure devotional service. Yes, Ananda?
Thank you for your class. I would like to ask you, like you said, about the difficulties which devotee face, and it should be treated as Krishna's mercy and Krishna's trying to protect one and increase his faith in him. But when these difficulties come as a hindrance in your spiritual practice, like suppose if you get some health problems and you cannot do your devotional service well, or you get some economic problems and you don't have money to go to Vrindavan, also say the devotees, as you know, in the material, there is some amount of money and help required. So then how can one understand that?
Well, devotional service doesn't depend upon these kind of material conditions. Devotional service is totally unconditional. It's not that only when my health is good I will serve Krishna. Well, health is bad. What about your mind? Serve Krishna in your mind. And it will happen to most of us. At some point we all will be lying in bed. Now, will you be able to go to the temple and offer Mangalarati at that time? Then does it mean should we give up our devotional service because we are bedridden? No. At that point we have to serve through our minds. In your mind you render service. And I tell you that will be even more blissful. But not serve in the mind when the body is active. Right? That will be cheating. Okay, and then as you are saying, there is no money to go to Vrindavan.
No, over here.
Okay, fine. You can sit at your home or sit by the ocean side, sit under a tree and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Does it cost money? So devotional service is not dependent upon health, money or other such condition. Sarvada sarvakaleshu. Under all circumstances, at all time, we can render devotional service. Rather, come to think of it, to be free from those situations are better for our spiritual life. When there is no money, then you realize, oh, I don't have to run after it now. No money. So, depend upon Krishna. Now I can chant better. Previously I was taking care of my business, I was taking care of so many different things. Now I won't have to worry about anything like that. Now I can just utilize my time in chanting the holy name and rendering devotional service.
But also association makes lots of difference. Like when you are associating with devotees, then it makes it easier to practice devotion service. Like how we are now.
Does it mean that devotees will associate with you only when you have money? No. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Devotees are our real friends. We will see their friendship, we will experience their friendship when they will come and stand beside us at the time of our difficulty. Those who are there to share our good times, they are not friends. Those who will come and stand by us at the time of our difficulty, they are our real friends. They'll come and give us the support, they'll come and give us the assurance. And that is a devotee. Devotee is never a friend of good time. Yes, Hare Krishna. Can you say a little louder? Yeah. How is it possible to?
Fall down, for him to fall down to become passionate. Is this Krishna's arrangement?
At least devotee takes it as Krishna's arrangement. Jarabhar took it as Krishna's arrangement. He didn't complain. Oh, I was a king, I gave up everything, and Krishna, look what you've done to me. Did he ever say that? Krishna, did I leave everything to get a dear body? Krishna, I don't have any faith in you. Did he ever say that? Rather, his mood was, whatever Krishna has done is for my benefit. And by going through the dear body, Krishna actually made him burn all his karma. And next life he's a pure devotee. Yes, you have a question?
Thank you, Hare Krishna Maharaj.
You stand up and say it so that others can hear.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your class, so nice. I haven't got a question, but I just got a humble request. One of the classes you mentioned about people treating Vrindavan as a holiday spot, and you mentioned such nice leela about the importance of treating Vrindavan as a dham and not just a holiday spot. And the benefits people get if they, all the benefits they don't get if they treat it as a holiday spot.
Okay, we'll see. Any other question? Ramananda?
I was just thinking that society has changed so rapidly and so, how do you say, so intensely, and that we are confronted with things that we may not have expected before. Like, even the devotees, sometimes we see that devotees also are affected by things like stress, and the leaders have to provide the security. And I feel sometimes we are talking, about very high things and Vrindavan, but we are not able to match that. It went so quick, everything, so how do we deal with that?
Did you ever see me in stress?
No,
Why I'm different? The devotees don't feel the stress. Devotees just take it. There is a way to lead your life. Like Krishna is making the arrangements. There's so much time to, take rest properly, eat properly, associate properly. Then you won't feel any stress. You'll feel bliss. And Krishna consciousness is blissful. Like when I come to a place, I don't feel stressful. Rather, I feel blissful. I'm feeling blissful here. Being with you all, talking about Krishna. Although devotees are complaining to me, Maharaj, why are you traveling so fast? And in a way, it's actually crazy. The way, like my schedule for last few days, I can tell you, like, leave aside the condition in India. I had to go to so many places, do so many things. I went back, I flew from America to India for Rath Yatra. I arrived in Ujjain on the day of Rath Yatra morning. I attended the Rath Yatra. 1 day, 2 days in Ujjain. The third day I went to Calcutta. And every day there were 2 programs. Morning program giving the class for 2 hours and evening program giving a class for 1.5 hours. Plus kirtan, plus meeting devotees. So it went on like that. Then the day of the return Rath Yatra, I flew I took a flight from Calcutta to Bombay, Bombay to Dubai, Dubai to Milan, and then from Milan airport, I drive to Switzerland. You were not there, Govinda was there. Govinda picked me up actually. Then practically 2 nights, 1 day, 2 nights, 1 day in Locarno, Switzerland. Then again 1 day in Milan, 1 day in Radhadesh, 1 day in Rotterdam. Then from Rotterdam, Malaga. 2 days in Malaga, third day, yesterday I came here. And today I'm here. Like the schedule sounds crazy, but I feel okay.
Why should you think that you're from the spiritual world?
I don't know about that. But the main thing is feeling happy wherever you are. Feeling happy in doing whatever you are doing. And one thing I'll tell you, one way to avoid stress is rest whenever you feel tired. And don't unnecessarily put yourself into a situation because they want me to do it, I have to do it. No. That is what causes the stress. I have to get up for Mangalarati. Otherwise, what they will say. My point is, if you are tired and not feeling like getting up for Mangalarati, it's all right, take rest. But that doesn't. But if you are below 60, then make it a point to attend Mangalarati. If you are, I can see those who are above 60, they're clapping. So, the point is, don't invite stress. Stress means what? Someone is pushing you down. Don't allow that to happen. If you feel that it's too much stressful, tell him, Prabhu, I can't do it. Really, he'll be upset, but you will avoid that unpleasantness in him. And also leaders should be careful that they don't put their followers into a stressful situation. The leader should rather inspire them to do things voluntarily without feeling any pressure. Spontaneous. When you're doing something joyfully, then you can carry on. But if you are doing something out of pressure, then you feel stressful. And that's one thing, as I told you, I'll tell you, that's what I follow. Whenever I feel tired, I take rest. Of course, I try to schedule my program also in that way. That's not that if I have to give a class at 6:30, I fall asleep at 6 o'clock and wake up at 7 o'clock. No. If I know that I have to give a class at 6:30 and I'm feeling tired, so take rest at 5:30 for half an hour, get ready for the class. You also do that. Not that because Guru Maharaj said, I can take rest, 6:30 I don't have to come to the class. No, when you are here, you must attend the classes. Now, by the way, are you enjoying these classes?
Yes.
Or how many of you are getting bored about it? How many of you are feeling stressed that, I have to come to the class, although I don't want to? Is anyone feeling any kind of stress like that? Thank you very much. I hope you will enjoy your presence here and you will learn a lot. That is the thing, the purpose. I want you all to learn. Like as I told was it yesterday when we were discussing. Like it is not that we are criticizing anybody, or we are simply educating ourselves, becoming aware what happened so that we know what should be avoided, what we should do and what we shouldn't do. So, okay, now you are ready for prasad? Prasadam is being served at what time? Now. Okay. Very good. Go and take prasad. Hare Krishna. Mahaprasade Govinde. Namo Brahmani Vaishnave. Shalpa Punna Vatan Rajan. Vishashanaiva Jayate. Sharira Avidya Jarendriya Taheka. Jibe Fele Bishayo Shagare. তার মধ্যে জিহ্বাতি লোভময় সুদূরমতি তাকে জেতা কঠিন সংসারে কৃষ্ণ বড় দয়াময়, করিবারে জিউ ভজয়, সপ্রসাদ অন্ন দিল ভাই, সেই অন্নামৃত পাও, রাধা কৃষ্ণ গুণ গাও, প্রেমে ডাকো চৈতন্য নিতাই, প্রেমে ডাকো চৈতন্য নিতাই। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। গৌর প্রেমানন্দে হরে।